Hey YouTube land, it's Tychonders here doing another action figure review. Now this is for something I picked up recently. I was hoping to do a tree figure review because there's tree figures in this wave. Unfortunately I've only been able to pick up the 2 out of the 3 figures from this set. And the figures in question are the Pulp Fiction figures. Now they come in the kind of similar window style packaging that the X-Files figures came in. Unlike the X-Files figures, they don't have an image of the character down the bottom, but they do have the name of the character on the side. So I have Butch Coolidge and Jules Winnfield. Is it Winnfield? Sorry, Winnfield. It does have an image of the character on the side of the box. So if I just move some stuff out of the way, if I can bring it in without knocking everyone over, and there goes Jules. If I just bring up the camera, you can see it has an image of the actual figure for Bruce Willis for the Butch figure, and likewise if I just move the Pulp Fiction one for Jules, bear with me a moment. You can see the Sam Jackson for Jules on the side. So they do have a brief write-up on the back of them. It shows the other figure in the wave as well, which is the Marcellus Wallace figure, which is the one figure I couldn't get. I'm hoping to pick them up at some point, and these are made by Diamond Select and it's part of their 6-inch line. So for the Jules Winnfield, right up, it says, over the years of his service to businessman Marcellus Wallace, gunman Jules Winnfield has often quoted the Bible prior to committing violent acts, but in the course of reclaiming a mysterious briefcase and executing those who failed to deliver it, a miracle happened. Inexplicably surviving a barrage of shots fired at point-blank range, Jules was ready to retire from the life, but first he had to deliver the briefcase, and God set out a couple more tests for Jules before he reached the end. That's the write-up for Jules. And the write-up for Butch is, again, same thing. The base connects with the Marcellus Wallace's base. Unfortunately, as I don't have the figure, I won't be able to do it. Again, it shows the other figures, this is Jules and Marcellus. So for Butch's write-up, it says, Butch's instructions were simple. In the 5th, your ass goes down. But the boxer had other plans. Instead of taking a dive in the 5th round like the businessman Marcellus Wallace wanted, Butch had bet big on himself and knocked his opponent out permanently. Butch was about to leave town when he realized he didn't have his most prized possession, his father's watch. That meant returning to his apartment, where Marcellus would surely have someone waiting for him, but Butch saw no other option. And again, it's on the back of the box, says figures were sculpted by Gentle Giant. So on to the accessories first for the figures. So Butch comes with the least amount of accessories. I can just bring them back into view there. Bear with me a moment, I'll just move the camera a bit. So Butch only comes with 2 accessories aside from the base. It comes with this katana, and it comes with a grip hand. Now he has this wider grip hand on in the box when you get him first, and he comes with this kind of more closed gripped, tighter grip for holding the katana, and just slides into the hand, and you can wield it quite nicely. To swap out the hand, you just pop it out and just pop it in via the peg, and it just kind of clicks into place. Articulation wise, they both have the exact same articulation. So he has a waist swivel, no ab crunch or anything like that. Head is on a ball joint, so you can get some good range of movement out of it. Arms are on ball joints, so they can go out, rotate all the way around. They have single jointed elbows, and you have a rotation at the elbow. And then they have the wrist swivel, and they have a hinge on the wrist, so the hands can go in and out. So far, all the hands on the figures I have so far can just go in and out. There's no up and down for the kind of pistol grip ones. I said he has the waist swivel. He has kind of a weird T-crotch thing, similar to what they did with some of the earlier Mattel. It was the DC Classics line. They had that kind of weird kind of T-crotch thing. He has a swivel in the upper hip, double jointed knees, which are quite tight, and then he has a ball jointed ball rocker ankle, so he can go forward back. He can rotate his ankle, but it's a bit hindered on Butch anyway by the pants cuff. And then he has an angle, so he can do an angle with the leg as well. So, and he stands quite well. So he's quite a heavy set. He's quite a bulky figure, so he seems to stand pretty well. And then, as I said, the last accessory he comes with, if I just move him off to the side here, is this base plate. And it's supposed to look like a bit of sidewalk, and it's supposed to connect up with the Marcellus Wallace with these pegs here. He has another piece that looks like the kind of curve that he steps off in the movie, and it just connects up to this one. It's quite nicely detailed. I like you have little grate, you have like this grass growing in between the cracks of the concrete. It looks like it's been repaired a few times. It's really nicely done. Props to them for doing kind of nicely sculpted base. It could have just done a plain black one or a plain clear base, but they actually went a bit out and actually just gave a nice base. On to Jules himself. Jules has more accessories than Butch, so his accessories are quite small, so I'll have to bring them up close to the camera. So he gets 2 burgers, and he gets a complete burger and he gets a partially eaten burger. They're quite small. He has a Slurpee cup for his tasty beverage, as he says in the movie. I believe they're supposed to be Big Kahuna burgers. I think that was the name of the franchise that they buy the burgers from in the movie. I could be wrong. I could be thinking of the ones from The Flash, because I think it's something similar. But I could have sworn the ones in Pulp Fiction were called a Big Kahuna. And you got the pistol that it comes with. It's quite nicely sculpted. And of course, it comes with the aforementioned briefcase from Marcellus Wallace that you, a bit of a spoiler if you've never seen the film, but you actually never see inside this thing. You see them open it, but you never see what's actually inside. So it doesn't even open itself, so it's true to form of the movie, sort of. And then his base, which I really love, it comes with like a bag for the fries. There's actually, I'm not sure if you can see that, but there's actually a little bag of fries sculpted on the inside of the bag. This is for like all the fast food. You got another cup that's kind of sculpted to the floor. And you got like these, I think this is supposed to be a cushion or a suitcase. And then you got these blankets. Actually, it might be easier if it comes separated like this in the box, so you can see it's easier to see the sculpting. You got all these kind of blankets that are just folded. It's quite nicely sculpted. And then for the back of it, you have the wall with all the bullet holes in it from where they get shot at. You have a light switch, which is kind of cool. I like the way they have the light. They have like a lamp. One of the lamps, the lights on the bulbs on the lamp have been broken off. And to assemble it, you get it separate in the box, so you have these 3 big pegs and peg holes at the top. You just slide it in together and it clicks into place. Now, what is interesting about this, they haven't confirmed the Wave 2 yet, or if they are even doing a Wave 2, I hope they do. But on the bottom of the base, there's pegs where it looks like a next base will connect into, and I'm hoping that's going to be the Vincent Vega figure, which is the John Travolta character, which is Jules's teammate or partner that he works with in the film. And there's like a gap here. It looks like the next section could just slot into that on the wall. So hopefully down the line, these were released this year, so hopefully next year they'll be doing Wave 2 and you'll get his partner in crime, which is Vincent Vega, or aka John Travolta. So onto the Jules figure himself. I really like this figure. It's really cool. It does have a really good likeness of Sam Jackson, even with the hair sculpt that he had in the movie. Head is on a ball joint. You can get some great ranges of movement on the head. Move side to side, forward, backs, all around. You can get him to look up a good bit, down a good bit. He has similar waist He does have a rubber coat on him, or rubbery style waistcoat. But if you take it off, he has a white shirt underneath, and his arms will still have the coat sleeves, so it'll look odd. His hand is really good. It's sculpted. His left hand is sculpted to hold the burgers and the milkshake or the fries, or not fries, but the half-eaten burger or the drink container. So you can get him to hold the half-eaten burger quite nicely. It is sculpted quite open, so if you want to put other sort of accessories in it, they'd be quite loose-fitting. And then his left hand. Now he didn't come with an alternate hand, which is interesting. He just came with the two that are attached. So he has a pistol grip hand. When you get him in the box, he's holding the briefcase, which is attached via one of those kind of clear elastic bands. So in order for him to get the pistol in his hand, you have to stretch it a bit. So he does kind of lose tendency to be able to hold the briefcase once you have the pistol inserted into his hand. But if you're just going to have him holding his pistol, he does look pretty cool holding it. Is that you have to kind of wedge it in there a small bit, so you can get him holding his pistol, and his elbow is just a slight bit above 90 degrees, so he gets a good angle while holding it, which is really, really cool. Again, same joints, shoulder joints as the Butch figure. Can rotate his arms all the way around. He has the single elbow bend with swivel, wrist rotate or swivel with in and out rotation, or in and out bend. He does have the same T-crotch, but because of the way the jacket goes over his or the waistcoat goes over, jacket coat goes over his waist, you don't see the T-crotch as much, so it's quite nicely hidden. You can go forward, back on the legs. He has that upper rotation, and he has a double jointed knees, just like Butch does, and his feet are on the same sort of swivels and has the same kind of ankle tilt to it as well, and can go forward and backwards. So his swivel is also sort of hindered by the pants cuff as well for swiveling too far, but other than that you probably wouldn't be doing it too much. One thing I should note about the Butch, his jacket here is actually a separate piece, and it's the same kind of rubbery material as Jules's coat. The only thing is doesn't open at the front, so you can't actually kind of slide it off. It's kind of glued together. You could cut it and slide it off if you wanted to. The head sculpting on these is really nice. I do like the Butch one does look quite like Bruce Willis, and as I said on the Jules one, it looks really like Samuel Jackson. So all in all, they're really good figures. I did pick these up at my kind of the new comic shop that's opened up recently, the local one, and I'll put a link to its website in the description of the video below. It's called comicvault.ie, and they're located in Cork, so they have some really cool stuff. They have figures, collectible figures, statues, and comics, the usual kind of stuff, and lots of pop vinyls, should you like pop vinyls. All in all, really good figures. I do recommend picking them up if you can. I do want to get the Marcellus Wallace figure, and if I can, and they announce Wave 2 and they have Vincent Vega, I'm definitely going to get Vincent Vega. I don't know which other characters they might do for Wave 2. Hopefully they might do the Wolf, which was Harvey Keitel, and possibly even Butch's girlfriend, which I can't remember her name, or even Mrs. Marcellus Wallace would probably be another high contender for another figure that they might do. So all in all, guys, hope you enjoyed my quick video review for these figures. They're out now in kind of different stores and stuff, so I do recommend trying picking them up if you can, if you're a fan of the movies. And even if you're a fan of 6 or 7-inch scale figures, you can actually mix and match them with some of the NECA figures. So if you want some kind of cool, if you want to have like Samuel Jackson facing off against stuff like your Terminator figures or Predator figures, he actually works in scale with some of those. So there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed my video review, and as I say in my videos, feel free to click like, feel free to comment, and feel free to subscribe to my channel. Cheers, guys.